Classes suspended at the University of Goroka. Soldiers refused bail. PNG Power office in Mount Hagen suffers damages worth over 300,000 kina.
This is NBC Papua New Guinea National News.
Good evening, I'm Antonia Singut. Classes at the University of Goroka have been suspended following yesterday's clash between students. According to the university's Public Relations Unit, classes have been suspended for 2 weeks. Momase students left the campus early this morning. Students from the Highlands provinces have also left the campus. Rebecca Passingan reports.
3 students are in a critical condition at the Goroka General Hospital after yesterday's clash. According to the University of Goroka, a total of 50 students were treated at the hospital, forcing medical staff to send other patients away so that they could concentrate on the students. Students from the Momase region, including Morbe and Madang, left early this morning after their provincial government sent buses to take them home. Civic students based in Ley and Madang also joined the other Momase students to leave the school. Morbe Governor Kelly Naru hired 6 buses and the UOG management hired 3 buses for the Morbe students and Ley residents studying at the University of Goroka. The Morbe provincial government also sent Mobile Squad 15 from Bulolo to escort the students home. Left at the campus are students from the New Guinea Islands and the southern region. Students from New Ireland have also travelled down to Ley this afternoon to await arrangements to travel home. Rebecca Passingan, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
Meanwhile, the situation has returned to normal after confrontations between 2 student groups from the Highlands region at the University of Technology in Ley. A male student has been hospitalized after he was slashed on the head and leg by fellow students after their student forum on campus turned nasty on Monday. The Unitec SRC agreed to return to classes and complete the first semester and continue the boycott afterward. However, sympathizing colleagues from the University of Papua New Guinea refused to accept the decision. Uniforce was successful in maintaining the situation, while police prevented opportunists from entering the campus. Charles Kicking reports from Ley.
The Ley police responded on Monday afternoon and were on alert into the night outside the campus where the situation was tense. This followed the confrontation between the Southern Highlands students and another group led by Enga students. A male student from Enga was slashed with bush knives, sustaining wounds to his head and leg. Vice Chancellor Dr. Albert Scrum and SRC President David Kelma said the student is in a stable condition after being treated. The Uniforce contained the situation as the communication between the administration and Ley Metropolitan Superintendent Anthony Wagambi Jr. The administration allowed the Uniforce to impose a curfew starting at 9 p.m. that evening, which helped contain the situation. However, there were small groups of students who were seen leaving the campus in fear. There were no vehicles moving into the campus main entrance, which has been barricaded with a bus, while staff and their families are allowed to pass through the gates. The police, after monitoring the campus perimeters, continued yesterday morning, while still maintaining their restraint without any visible firearms. According to Dr. Scrum, only 2 regional groups involved in the fight, and they represent 5% of the student population in the campus. Dr. Scrum said the administration position has not changed and expect the students who have agreed to resume classes this week to complete the first semester's remaining weeks. The SRC President David Kelman said he made a tough decision in agreeing for the students to resume classes because they will have win-win situation where they can continue the boycott in the second semester. Mr. Kelman said if they miss completing this first semester, the academic board will nullify the academic year, which means the students will be powerless to pursue their agenda. Meanwhile, Chief Superintendent Wagambi maintains that they will only monitor the situation from outside the campus and will only intervene and enter the campus upon request of the administration in line with the university's constitution and agreement. Charles Kekeng, NBC National News, Leh.
The public in Leh City have reiterated calls for Prime Minister Peter O'Neill to step down and hand himself in for questioning by police. This follows a confrontation between students at the University of Papua New Guinea, University of Technology on Sunday afternoon, which resulted with a male student being hospitalized with severe injuries. Concerned residents say the situation at the university has instilled fear among women and children and has greatly affected their daily movements. Sylvester Gawi reports from Leh.
Leh police have maintained restraint from entering the Unitec campus and assessing the situation from the outside. The ongoing students' protest has left the public infuriated over the manner in which the government is responding to the situation. The University of Technology campus in Leh has been on lockdown since last week, with students, staff and family members voicing a call for the Prime Minister to step down from office and to be investigated on allegations of corruption.
All people member now all stop on them, all minister will stop on them. All South minister is wrong. Now why you don't like step aside? Now Lara Muslim all by withdraw the Prime Minister and stop outside now. Also all people now maybe face him hard severe. Maybe people tomorrow bambla line up na bambla mark all member can. The all minister, yeah. Suppose all minister no step aside. Then also upon them Prime Minister no organize something or tough here.
The nationwide student protest took the hype last Wednesday when UPNG students were shot and injured by police while trying to stage a peaceful march to Parliament. Unitec students condemned the shooting incident by setting alight a government vehicle and called on Leh police not to intervene and stop their protests. These events have brought the democratic rights of Papua New Guineans into question, with police using high-powered weapons to suppress human rights.
Mibla na one bele sa mama mibla am current beginning na mibla togi molo come school. Ina blom boycott na wasting time na kaino sem. So mibla lagi mosem Prime Minister step down na all get something back on normal na.
The public outrage on social media has also supported protesting university students, calling on elected members of parliament to evade from the government. Meanwhile, back in Leh, police are monitoring the situation with the university's council confident of restoring normalcy. Sylvester Gawi, NBC National News, Leh.
Attempts by 12 PNG Defence Force soldiers to seek an extension of their bail has been refused by the military court. They were recently convicted of mutiny charges awaiting their penalty. They are now detained at the Bomana prison outside Port Moresby. As Maivo Lafanama reports, a decision was handed down at Murray Barracks today.
On June 1st, the 12 were convicted of mutiny arising out of the conduct and actions between August and December 2015. They were part of a platoon deployed as per an NEC decision 183 of 2014 to provide security for the ExxonMobil Como camp. The case started in January when they were arrested, charged and were out on 1,500 kina bail each until their conviction this month. They made a bail application through their lawyer from the Public Solicitor's Office to have it extended while they await their penalty submissions. 4 grounds were given as reasons. They include good background, welfare of their family, pre-sentence and other reports pending, lack of imprisonment facility by the PNGDF. This, however, was refused by Judge Penuel Mogish as it failed to show exceptional circumstances.
12 soldiers have been taken up to Bomana and will be in CS custody until such time when the penalty submissions are had. Justice Penuel Mogish is expected to preside over this next Wednesday and will hand down a decision on Friday.
This is the 3rd case of mutiny so far in the PNGDF history. In 2012, Moem Barracks in East Sepik was seized by soldiers who protested over the downsizing of the PNGDF. In 1998, Captain Belden Nama and several others were jailed over the Sandline affair. Maivo Lafanama, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
The PNG Power office in Mount Hagen has suffered damages amounting to more than 300,000 kina following last week's riot. Branch manager Leo Savingu, in a recent crisis management forum, revealed that his office was seriously damaged and looted by the students and opportunists. He said the looters, after stoning the office facility and threatening his staff, entered the premises and escaped with office equipment, including computers, laptops and personal items. The forum was arranged by the Mount Hagen City Authority's CEO, Leo Noki, at Hotel Kimininga in Mount Hagen on Monday to allow all stakeholders to discuss the recent protest. Jack Tame reports from Mount Hagen.
Mr. Savingu further told the forum that 90% of his time is spent in attending to all the claims from the Western Highlanders, and this damage to the office properties has added another burden, and it will greatly affect the effective delivery of electricity service to the people and businesses. The branch manager took the opportunity to appeal to all the community leaders to work with his staff to eradicate this problem of claims and harassing his staff in the field and allow his staff to work peacefully in the rural areas.
Me talk ground, me talk three compensation, all this or something. So over the time, me say stop out, na me say talk this something. So leaders must get up, rise up, now work on them in. So the people bring service go line the place. People make him also by hard lo people along delivering this service. And service here, lo picking you me tomorrow.
Mr. Savingu strongly added, to address the recent protest, all student ring leaders have to be identified and brought to justice, so that as responsible leaders we have to give confidence to the state-owned enterprises, private business and general public. Jack Tame, NBC National News, Mount Hagen.
The Mount Hagen City Authority has condemned the recent attack in this city, resulting in damages worth millions of kina. It follows a crisis management forum held between the City Authority and concerned stakeholders. The meeting reached some resolutions following input from all stakeholders. Again, Jack Tame reports from Mount Hagen.
Several vital points have been raised by the representatives of the Mount Hagen Chamber of Commerce, the Western Highlands Provincial Administration, the Education Division, NGOs, general public and the government statutory organizations in the province. These points include provincial education authorities must immediately conduct an internal investigation and punish the student leaders and others respectively. The concerned provincial government authorities to relocate the Hagen Park Secondary School away from the city vicinity, increase police manpower and create more police stations around the city to boost police presence. The Hagen Park School, on behalf of the students involved, to take some form of responsibility for the damages, challenge the parents and the teachers to educate their children and students respectively to be good responsible citizens and change their negative attitudes. A further working committee to be established as a think tank to provide an avenue for networking and discussions on such provincial and national issues and provide alternative measures. Many other vital issues were raised, and finally the CEO of Mount Hagen City Authority announced his resolutions to give confidence to the business communities, government departments, statutory organizations and the general public to restore normalcy in Mount Hagen City.
In this meeting, we have resolved to, number one, condemn the actions of the students who started stoning the police station, that provided opportunity for the public and other opportunities to bring about a lot of destruction.
Meanwhile, in an inclusive interview with NBC National News, this newsroom has asked Mr. Knox Kiap, the Executive Provincial Education Services Program Manager, about his intentions about the concerned parties urging for the immediate investigations to punish the responsible students and how promptly he prefers to conduct the investigation.
All beginning now come up in threat lo city lo yumi. So me now by going start writing one directive, give me go along all two principle. Long go down, find out long true beginning we said he involved lo through my stone number one stone na come up in maybe na big bagara me come up in city lo yumi.
In the meantime, the businesses resumed as usual this week after each business houses, like the banks, have temporarily renovated the damaged parts over the long weekend. Jack Tame, NBC National News, Mount Hagen.
We now join Douglas with the weather preview.
Thanks, Antonia, and welcome back. The weather in brief. Good evening, everybody. Most parts of the country will experience evening showers, while others will experience thundery showers. I've got all the weather details towards the end of the bulletin. For now, it's back to you, Antonia.
Thank you, Douglas. Coming up next, more accommodation for police personnel at McGregor Barracks outside Port Moresby. And US President Barack Obama has criticized Donald Trump's reaction to the Orlando shooting. Stay with us on NBC National News.